Leo. Welcome to your December reading. Hi, my name is Kelly Lunt. I'm an intuitive channel, a medium, and a law of attraction expert. So without further ado, let's get into your reading, Leo. So it looks like your theme of the month and what you're going through right now is, oh, how interesting. You're definitely returning back to your mystic and your spiritual roots. So you're reawakening to do whatever practice it was, whether you were a meditator or a breathwork person, tarot cards, rune reading, whatever it is, you're reawakening your gift and your ability and that connection to source energy. So you're probably starting to feel good and better. What's going to trip you up though is that at the same time you're probably going to feel that little bit of sluggishness and that little bit of WTF. Because what can happen when you I don't say turned your back on, when you haven't been connected to source like you normally are, when you're a spiritual kind of being, you like that guided life, you like being connected to spirit guides, source, spirit. When you disconnect for a while, you lose touch with a part of yourself. So you're not feeling all your emotions, you're not processing all of them. So when you start to reconnect back to it and you start getting that, oh, I know my next step, and you get that good kind of spirit energy in you, you're oh, wait, I've got this baggage. So that's the sluggishness. That's the, oh, but I feel good. Why am I being pulled back? When you're in alignment with spirit, isn't it always moving forward, next step, next step, next step? It is, but you've kind of got to deal with this a little bit. Because it looks like you're really starting to evaluate how, who, what, when, where you invest your time. You're kind of starting to get tired of the things that don't last. And even though there's fun and frolics in it, and there is that good feeling of, oh, look at me, I can get people are interested in me, it's kind of yeah, but who cares if it doesn't last? Wait a second, it was fun in knowing that I was an attractive partner and people were interested in dating me, but I don't want a life of a series of first dates, or I don't want a life with a series of 6-week, 8-week, 3-month relationships. And you're definitely at it, and I don't want to go all in and be in a relationship and wake up 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years later and going, oh my God, I never should have been in a relationship with this person in the first place. So it's definitely this reawakening of spirituality, but also being careful how you invest your time. It's really more about time than money for you too, Leo. You're getting serious about life. You want family life. I'm not even going to say, I'm going to cry. Oh my God. You don't even want that love, that romance, that fairy tale love chance. You're just I want family. There's more messages for you here though in this first part. So there's a little bit of you that also thinks that spirit betrayed you. It's wait, what the fuck? I meditated or whatever it is you did, right? But I meditated to be connected to you guys. Why didn't you tell me to leave this relationship? Why didn't you tell me this was bad? Okay, but if you've been around kids, this will be easier to make sense. If you haven't been around kids, just kind of try to see it. Sometimes when kids are 2 and 3, they're look at me, I can run. And when you say no, they're I can run though. Don't tell me, I can do it. And it's but you're about to run off a cliff, kid. No. So sometimes though, kids will have meltdowns. They're just learning how to process their emotions, So sometimes you can't, I hate to say this, but you can't tell them the truth. One personal example I had was, I was watching she was almost 3. Mom was out of town for a week. She did kind of try to do her best to keep track of the days for when Mom was back. And the morning the night before, it was you'll see your mom tomorrow. And so in the morning, she just started screaming. I was what's going on? She's Mom home. And I was ooh. And I was yeah, and be quiet. She's trying to sleep. She got in at 1 in the morning. That's why I spent the night again to take you to daycare. And I had to be stoic and not let that kid feel my energy. And I had to lie. So I was we got to go to daycare. Mom home. I was like, oh, you're confused. You're going to see mom after daycare. And so the kid looks confused. I was like, what? I was like, I'm taking you to daycare. Mom is picking you up from daycare. So if you want to see mom, the sooner you get ready, the sooner you'll see your mom. I've never seen that kid get ready for daycare so fast with so much glee. Okay, so that was a white lie that I told that kid. The mom was downstairs. And I told her, the sooner you get to daycare, the sooner you're going to see her. Come on, guys, that's a lie. No, mom's picking her up from daycare at the exact same time, no matter how soon the kid gets there. So it kind of works that way with spirit, you know? Sometimes they're, hey, go here, and you're like, oh, this is where I'm finding my wife and settling my life down. And then you get there, and you're like, what the hell? Where is it, spirit? Sometimes it's just like, I just need to get you to daycare. This is the last day of my duty of watching you and keeping you alive, you know? And sometimes there's also when kids get older, not like little kids, you start having to teach them about making choices, consequences, and it's more, at least my view of parenting is more of a, hey, listen, well, tell me what you're thinking you're going to do. Okay, well, when I did that, here's how it worked out. Here's what I wish I did in hindsight. Sometimes the kid will take the advice. Sometimes they'll be like, no, it's okay. I'm okay with that, you know. Or another example that's popping in the head. I was chatting with a couple, 20-year-olds at the gym, and I was like, oh, my God, you guys vape? That's so bad for you. They were like, yeah, we're in our 20s. We're just going to live it up while it's still good. And I was like, oh, okay, so what you guys what's your protein? Are you going to come and eat chicken and veggies? They looked at me and were like, no, we're going to go grab pizza. We eat whatever we want. And I was like, oh, that's right. You're still in your 20s. You know? It's like, ooh, but if you just develop those healthy eating habits now, when you get into your 30s, it's not going to be as hard for you. They can choose to listen to that advice, or they could choose not to. And sometimes life is about witnessing their life unfolding. So the same thing with spirit. They probably gave you some signs, and you did the, I'll figure it out when I get there. Or, right? So it's kind of a little bit of forgiving spirit, letting go of what bad happened, letting go of blaming them for the bad that's happening, letting go of that betrayal you might feel when you're like, oh, wow, I actually realized I just betrayed you guys. You guys are guides, not the give me the next step for the exact thing that I want. You're guides to help me get there. So it's like that reintegration of spirit back into your life. And then once you kind of go through that reawakening to allowing spirit in, redeveloping your healthy, so you're probably going to have to nix some coping mechanisms you may have developed during the pandemic, get a clean, sober mind, and get that spirit back in there, process those old emotions. It's going to be clearer to you what you want going forward, so you'll know how to spend your time essentially. And you are going to kind of start to realize, I want family. Leo, you want family. Man, oh, I'm so happy for you guys. Okay, so it looks like in the recent past, in the recent past, you definitely had it's the spiritual reawakening part coming back up again. It's just, I need to get tapped back into my guidance. And I need to start doing healthier coping mechanisms. I'm at the age I'm at, I'm too tired, and this can't be my life for the rest of my life. I need to reinvigorate myself. So you definitely, it's just showing me a lot that you started reconnecting back to your spiritual beings. Yeah, because you're really looking to get that passion for life again. That I almost even want to say eagerness and enthusiasm. You guys, I'm gonna post a video. I think I'm titling it, "Did You Lose That Sparkle in Life?" Did you, something like that. I'm going to post it soon, 100% within the next week. That you guys might like that video. It's part of the spirituality. Just recognize that it's not so much about being connected to spirit as it is, that is me, that is who I am. I came down to live a more spiritual guided life. So it's a reacquainting yourself with yourself and what makes you excited about life and how you like to live life. So that's kind of actually beautiful. You're just really sad that you like turned your back on, you're viewing it as you turned your back on spirit, when in reality it's a sadness of you didn't listen to yourself, you denied who you were, you got out of touch with practices that make you you, that you like doing. Yeah, so you're just, I mean, that makes sense. Everyone who's spiritual goes through these moments. You're just having this like, but why did I turn my back on what makes me me? Why did I turn my back on spirit? This is so good. Why did I not do something good? And you're either going to stay there and beat yourself up about it, or you're going to go, God, I'm so glad I'm back in alignment now. I'm so glad I'm back on track with who I am now. Universe, I want to make up for all the time that I feel like I lost. I want life to start feeling so good that I look back and I go, that was a needed break from life. I took a break. I needed to rest and recharge. I needed to recoup from whatever it was that happened. That was a time of hibernation, of recouping, of recharging. That was my winter. Sure, it was a little longer than I thought it would be, but now I'm ready to spring. Now I'm ready. Wait, what the hell comes after winter? Spring. Now I'm ready for spring. I'm ready, universe. Like, that's where you want to get, Leo. I do think this is going to be like a whole month journey for you, though, so be okay that it's not going to be like I watched that girl's video and I'm back in alignment. It's going to be more of a, man, I do feel I betrayed spirit. Oh, I do. And I feel like you guys betrayed me. And it'll be like, can you guys show me how to trust you again? Can you guys help me reopen back up to you? Can you start giving me gentle nudges and gentle guidance? Because I want to rebuild that trust with you. I'm so sorry I didn't listen to you for a while. I'm so sorry I blamed you. You got to, like, psychology terms, rupture and repair. You got to do the same thing with your spiritual friendships. So help me trust you guys again. Help me see how my life is better with you guys than again. Help me see how this makes me more me, because this is literally about you actually stepping more into you, Leo. Like, this is who I am today, and it is that concrete, like, sometimes when you guys, people have a fear, especially codependents, of like, this is who I am. And it comes from that, like, not wanting to be ostracized, wanting to make sure you have love and connection and all of that, and that makes sense, right? When you're a little kid, you literally need people to like you so that you get your needs met. Then there comes a point, right? You wouldn't want me to be you're in your head. I don't read tarot, guys, right? Someone who's not fully owning it. You want to be like, no, this is what the cards have to say. This is your advice. Like, this is what Spirit's trying to tell you guys. Right? Because then the people who really like tarot and who really like my style of tarot and who like that I combine it with psychology are going to tune in. So you'll have less people available to you, but the ones that will be more eagerness, enthusiastic, more that spark of life that you're looking back for. Okay, so going into the right now, it does look like you are putting in, I'll say diligent effort. I'm not going to say like studious every day, complete structure, complete routine, but you are putting in diligent effort to reintegrate yourself with like beautiful, good, new spiritual practices. You're a little in your head because it's like a excuse me there. Ooh. You're a little in your head because it's, am I crazy for going back to this? Am I, my life, how do I explain this to you? It's like you don't know if reacquainting yourself back with your spirituality is going to get you the result you want, but again, that's because you're making peace again with your relationship with spirit and like, why did that bad thing even happen to me? You got to get to the place of, oh, I see why I needed to date that person as long as I did. Oh, I see what I learned. Oh, okay, I see how that worked out for me and how that was on my path. Because there's just a little bit of you that's like, wait, I'm putting my time, energy, and effort into this reacquaintance with my spirituality, and I don't even know if it's going to get me a result. Do I feel crazy? Do I feel, and most of the time, guys, it does kind of mean you're on the right path. You're just growing like a lot of new neural pathways at the same time, and there's just that fear of, will I still be loved if I fully come out as who I am? Okay, going into the near future, you're on track, Leo. You're on track. You got the Veil card, so that's when you do kind of crush over is that threshold of a new life. So that is when if you used to think negative thoughts about yourself and maybe have like low self-worth, you're now like living up to like, oh no, I can expect good things for me. I deserve good things. It's like that total crossing over into a completely new way of living life. And so can we give them a little heads up about what it is? Feeling good about yourself, feeling good in your body, feeling like you're on track in life. Oh, and love, Leo. There's a little bit of you who crosses threshold of like recognizing that you're not paying for anything in the past, whether you're like, it's my karma from another life, generational karma, or I'm not paying because I dated that girl for so long and now she's freaking out about me now have kids. Like, you're not even like, so you're letting go of beating yourself up for stuff in the past and letting go of responsibility to let other people find like their life mission and their life path, which is going to be really good for you. You are going to be embraced. You're never going to be in a place, Leo, of I need a relationship. Honestly, if you're going on dates, I wouldn't say that to someone, because I know me and a lot of other people are actually like, oh, you don't need a relationship? Like, okay, why would I give you my love? Whatever it is you're trying to communicate, figure out a different way to say it. Just be like, well, yeah, I've definitely hit a place of comfort in my life where I definitely feel good on my own. I enjoy my friendships, my connections, my family that I have. It would be nice. I want a relationship. I want a family of my own, but I've definitely hit enough peace and comfort in myself that, like, I'm not doing it with the wrong person. That will get you so much better. You probably use a hell of a lot less words than I did. I'm a talker. But that's going to get you so much of a better response to people going, fine, you don't need one? I'm out. Okay, but part of this veil is you are going to recognize that, like, you are, like beautiful. Like, you're beauty. Like, you are good enough just as you are to have the things that you want, and that you can't expect good things. You're going to stop beating yourself up, and you are going to really embrace that you're like, oh my God, I'm ready to be a dad. I'm ready to be a father, or whatever. Take it whatever gender, okay, guys? Don't come at me in the comments. Okay, in terms of your personal power this month, well, your personal power is like, don't lose hope. Because you got the Ace of Trees, so that's when like a new start is there for you. And this is a start where there's emotional balance, emotional fulfillment, financial fulfillment. So you're at the start of like having it all, content with your career, content with your love life. But this can be, of the starts of the aces, this can be the one that can feel like a false start. So just recognize that you're also afraid of things being a false start. And all I can say is any relationship that didn't work out in the past, Leo, there was likely an avoidance of a conversation that needed to happen. There was a little bit too much of an emphasis on it just needs to be completely divinely right. It needs to feel like alignment 100% of the time. But guys, like, if that person just had a client quit, they're going to be sad. Sad is technically out of alignment. It might be in alignment, though, for them to be hanging out with you that night and getting a hug. They may have, in their sadness, forgotten that they said they would make you dinner, and then it would be like, oh, you got to be willing to have that conversation, not take that as maybe this is a sign we're not meant to be together. If they really love me, they would do it, right? Or they said they would, like, it's just got to be I was really looking forward to eating that meal you said you cooked for me, but, oh, man, you lost your longest standing client? Talk to me about it. Like, that's a life partner where you're a witness of their story, the good, the bad, the high vibe, the low vibe. So it's kind of like it's not that it was a false start with whatever previous relationships you had. It looks like there was one that seemed to have like some synchronicity behind it that you're still like, wait, why did it end? That one ended because there was just a conversation that needed to happen that didn't happen. And it looks like there was a little bit of you needing to not need like a perfect red carpet rollout experience. Because, guys, what I'm going to say now, because everything I do is grounded in psychology, elevated by spirituality. There's rupture and repair in relationships. There's conflict, intimacy. And right now you're at a point of, hey, I want to spend my Saturdays going to rugby games. Oh, my God, me too. Well, let's be in a relationship. When it's, I love spending my Saturdays watching rugby games. Oh, that's something fun I love doing. I love spending my Saturdays going on hikes. This is the only time I can go on hikes. This is the only time I could do rugby games. You right now, or the old you would be, It must not be meant to be. I'm done. When this is conflict intimacy. This person wants something different than this person. How do you come to a third solution that works for both of you? Well, I don't need to go on a hike every weekend, and I do kind of like rugby. Oh, okay. Well, when my team is playing, yeah, we can watch it, and then afterwards maybe we could do a small walk. Yeah, that sounds good. Look at that. Boom, you had the difficult conversation, easy solution. Or it might look like but sometimes they're like one of those really long hikes. And you're like, well, hey, you know what? If we're going to do a really long hike, we should do it the third Saturday of the month because that's the game that I know my team is just going to be demolished and lose. I don't need to watch it. Oh, okay. Yeah, that would work for me. Boom. Now you have a solution. And she might even be, okay, thank you for doing a long hike with me. Like, okay, well, I'm going to make you some delicious chicken wings because your team's going to apparently get demolished. And I want you to at least feel a little bit better, babe. Conflict can be fun. Conflict intimacy. Okay, it looks like you're just really afraid of false start. Oh my God. There's love possible for you, Leo. Don't give up. Oh my God, you're so close to crossing the threshold to being in a loving, committed, long-term, long-standing relationship. Oh my God, you're right there. It does look like it might be someone new. It might be that person from the past where there was like wait, why did it end? I'm confused as to why it ended. It does look like the person you dated after that there was, like, that person was just there to teach you a lesson. And the lesson was to hopefully get you out of needing it to be like a perfect unfoldment of, I like rugby too, me too, yay, we'll spend every weekend together. It was to, like, kind of wake you up out of that. And as well as wake you up out of, they need to just accept every little single thing about me. Because it's about building, there's me, there's you. How do we come together and build a we? And the we this is greater than, right? This is 5, this is 10. So the we is better. I wanted a we. So it's like, you got to want to be a we, Leo, to get what you want. That's part of that veil crosshold you're going through. Yeah, or if you don't go through it, you're always going to feel like you're left out in the cold, or you could cross over into, I want to be in a we. It's got to be right. It's got to feel good. The we, it's not so much that it's got to be rugby, yay, but it's got to be the we has to be better than the me alone. And so it's like the first and third Saturday of the month, we watch my soccer games. The second and fourth, we go to her hikes. But this is better. You know, another thing, like, part of it is when you are in a relationship, you don't have full say over your full time. And, like, just being blunt, you kind of got to get over that. Especially if you want kids. Once you have kids, your time is not your own. It is the kids' time. What do they need? They need snacks. They need to go here. Like, I've been around enough kids and watched them long enough that it's like, when do you do your own stuff? They're like, you don't get me time when you have kids. If you get me time, it's because you go to bed right when the kids go to bed and you wake up before them. And you have that hour or two before they wake up to do your meditations you like to do, Kelly. So it's just recognize that being in a committed relationship is going to be a little bit of a stepping stone. Because you're still, when you're just in a relationship, you guys still have plenty of time if there's no kids involved. It's a stepping stone for, like, you becoming the father you want to be. Okay, in terms of outside influences, interesting. Right now, in this exact moment, you don't have the most encouraging people around you. It looks like you're surrounded by people who are more like, well, I need you for this, I need you for that. It looks like you just kind of got, like, some mopey people around, like a mopey person who's like, this is my life, I need you for this, I need you for that. And it looks like there's just some other people around that person that, like, you just don't really know how to interact with them. And it's really more about recognizing, I don't want this. I don't want this. Can you use those people to then get clear what it is you do want? Well, if I'm going to be living with someone, maybe you're living with them, maybe they're just like the person you talk the most to today. If I'm going to be living with someone, if I'm going to be with them, I got to feel a little more eagerness and enthusiasm between the two of us. I got to want to be there. I got to feel like they want to be there. I want it to feel a little bit more passionate, a little bit more alive. I want it to feel a little bit more included. If I'm going to be around people this much, this frequency, I want to be a little more integrated. I want to be integrated in their life. I want to know what's going on in their life. I want to be included. I want to be there for their, so it's use the whatever most people around you, use them for the, I now want this, so that you can like go on your journey. It looks like your hopes or fears for the month. You're believe it or not, Leo, you've got a fear that you're never going to be included and like never going to be fully included. You might have a father wound. If you're a guy, it's a father wound. If you're a girl, would it be a father wound or a mother wound? It would be a father wound for either gender. If you didn't have, some sort of father wound, maybe you didn't have a dad, maybe whatever. It could just leave people when they're adults of like, wait, am I good enough for a relationship? Do people want me? Am I worthy of someone focusing on me with their resources? Am I safe? Am I good enough? So this is like more of a decision that you got to be like, I'm good enough. It sucks that I, didn't have a father growing up. It sucks that this happened with my dad growing up. It sucks that he never protected me. But right now I'm pre-paving for a new reality ahead of me, and it's one where I self-accept myself, and I'm enough to have the things that I want, and my kids are going to be better and do better than I did, and I'm happy to provide that for them. It looks like in terms of your outcome for this month, okay, so, because this is a lot that you're going through, Leo. Your outcome right now is the Wanderer card. So that is the one who's, I'm on my path. I'm doing things that are going to get me to where I want to be and where I want to go. I'm on my path, but it is the one that doesn't want to take full responsibility for other people. Just be aware you're going to have that attitude until you make peace with the past. Whatever relationship that you were in much longer than it should have gone on, or you shouldn't have even entered in the first place, you just got to make peace with, I made that decision, I entered it, it was what it was, I will now enter relationships because I actually like the person and want to build a future with them. That's going to be your threshold into the new life. Otherwise, you're going to stay the wanderer who doesn't want to take responsibility for the people. They're like, no, if you like me, you can ride your horse next to me. We can go on this journey together. Like, oh, wait, you need me to hold your hair when you shower? No. I'm looking for someone who accepts me exactly as I am and exactly what I do. You got to want to watch rugby every Saturday. Like, do you want a dog, a companion, or do you want a life mate who's a living, breathing thing and, like, brings other sparkle to your life, even if they don't want to watch rugby, like, every single Saturday, So, again, literally, Leo, it's just a utterance of making peace with the decision you made to enter into a relationship you should have entered in or stayed in one much longer than you should have. I made that decision, and that's that. And I now want to be in relationships where it feels good, where it feels like the we is worth it, where the investment feels worth it. That's where you got to go, Leo. All right, guys, I go live Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern time with free mini reads. So come hang out, come get a fresh little message, what you need to hear that day. I also, if you want a personal recorded video, I'll put a link for that in the comments below. You'll enter your 3 questions. You'll give me your email. I'll make you an unlisted YouTube video, and I will send you all the information you need on the questions that you answer in. I look forward to seeing you, however it is I end up seeing you. Bye, guys. Have a good month.